All right, we have a mic check, please. Mic check. I see from the internet, Kickin' Chicken is asking for the physical address for the Seminole stop today. And we are at 510 Hempstead Turnpike in West Hempstead, New York, 11552. And the phone number for the pool room, tell me when you're ready. No, I'm kidding. Area code 516-538-9896. That is the direct number here. All right, we're going to be getting this match started here in just a few seconds. It's going to be Tony Robles and Mike Fingers.
The 2010 Seminole Pro Tour is brought to you by the Seminole Tribe of Florida and Seminole Media Productions, Delta 13, the True Triangle, and official rack of the Seminole Pro Tour.
All right, welcome back, everyone. This is Ray Hansen, also known as Big Truck, and we're here at Raxx Pool Room Bar and Grill in West Hempstead, New York. And this is the Empire State Seminole Pro Tour Championship. There's the lag, Mike Fingers and Tony Robles. Now looks like Tony has won the lag, and he'll be leading us off. This is Rack Your Own winner break format, race to 7 until we get to the final rounds, and we will be moving to race to 8 at that point. Alrighty, here we go. Tony Robles leading us off. Rack number 1. All right, we just got confirmation that it is race to 7, all up until the final 16. And when we get to the final 16, it will be race to 8 until the finals. The finals is 1 race to 9.
Okay, Upstate Owl back in the booth. Just a little correction on the jump shot call. You can jump as many times as you want with a jump cue. Okay, folks, just coming back into this match here. Looked like they were electing to play safe. Tony Robles now up at the table. Calling the one ball into the corner pocket. And we do have a guest commentator sitting in the booth, Miss Gail Glazebrook, Tony's girlfriend. Hi, Gail. How are you?
Hi, everybody. How are you?
As far as the jump shots, Gail, I was reading the rules there. It just says that they can jump with a jump cue. Is this as many times as they want to?
Yeah, there's no limitation to how many times you can jump with the jump cue. You just can't use the shaft. Only has to be a jump cue.
Okay, and there you have it, right out of Gail. They can jump as many times as they want with their jump cue. Okay, Tony Robles, he looks focused here. Trying to draw first blood in this match against Mike Fingers.
Mike's a great player out of the Northeast. He was playing a lot more often last year, and he took a break for the summer. He injured his shoulder. So he took a break and was healing up. Great player, up and coming, very dedicated player before his shoulder injury happened, and a consistent player on the Predator Tour.
Also, we'd like to say and send out our best wishes to Danny DiLiberto. We heard he is back home now. We wish Danny the best. We miss you, Danny. Get back on your feet there, buddy. Okay, Tony Robles pocketing that 9-ball and winding up great for this 10-ball position right into the corner pocket, is about to take a lead of 1-0 over Mike Fingers. And he does.
Tony's in his element right now. He loves playing with these rules. Anybody who hangs around Tony long enough will hear him say all the time 9-ball is the biggest garbage game that ever lived. So he's really excited to have this event and have the Seminole Pro Tour agree to play with these 10-ball call shot, call safe rules. And we've gotten a lot of really good feedback from the players, particularly the elevated players of the game. They really enjoy that. It's pure skill at this point. The luck factor has really been limited with the rules that the Predator Tour has implemented here.
And what a great tournament and turnout you have here. They did limit the field to 64. We have some great talent in the house.
Oh, yeah. I'm really excited about the quality of play that you'd find here. You've got all of the top players from the Northeast. And, we had a couple of amateurs fill in some spots just to have the chance to play with the top players. But for the most part, this field is really strong. It's going to be great play all day long.
Absolutely. I agree. I mean, we have Mr. Mike Siegel in the house that we haven't seen in a while. Come up from Maryland to support the tour. Mm-hmm. Very nice to see Mike, along with many others, guys. If you're in the listening area or happen to be passing by Raxx Pool Room Bar and Grill in Hempstead, Long Island, come on by and join the crowd. You're lucky to get a seat around the streaming table right now. The folks in the public area are starting really to pile in here.
Absolutely. It's a great pool room. It's got beautiful tables, 31 tables out here, and they have a full bar, great food. It's just a really well organized, very friendly pool room to come out and watch the matches, and you're going to get some great matches to watch. You learn so much just watching these players.
And the host, the owner of this pool room, is Holden Chin. Always a great host. Great to come out here and see Holden. He supports the pool world tremendously.
Very much. We were kind of disappointed he didn't want to play in it, but he didn't want to get his feet wet this time.
There you have it.
A lot of people don't know Holden's a great player. He's an open player easily.
Yeah,
Great player.
Yeah, I've seen him many a times up at the Turning Stone Casino. Matter of fact, he does participate numerous times. I've seen him up there.
Fingers got himself in a little bit of trouble here. Bear in mind that these call shot, call safe rules, the two-way shot option is very, very limited here. I mean, it's actually non-existent. There's no such thing as a two-way shot in this situation. You've got to call the ball, and if you leave your opponent with a safety by accident, the incoming player does have the option to make you shoot again. So it really does take away the two-way shot factor altogether. But it also effectively eliminates the majority of luck in this tournaments. I would imagine Tony's going to kick at this 3-ball 1 rail, and he's going to call his safety back. And he's going to... He hit the 3-ball, no problem. He got a decent enough safety. That 3-ball is really right on top of the 6 and the cue ball. Mike's going to have a really tough shot here.
I think what Mike Fingers is looking at here is to play a safety right back and leave the cue ball there if you can't make the 3. Jacked up.
Mike has asked Tony to call over Finnegan, our tournament director here, to watch the hit. Always a good idea for players not to take the chance of an argument and just call the TD over.
Absolutely, absolutely. It avoids all conflicts. I don't know if Mike Fingers is actually trying to make... Well, I'll tell you what. I think he's trying to make this and draw back out for the 4-ball the way he's firing straight down at it.
Wow. Good shot. And he's got a good shot at the 4-ball here. His only problem is getting back on that 5-ball. It's going to be really, really tricky.
And again, Mike Fingers back at the table. You know, he can pocket this and elect to go to 3 rails, inside rails at the top of the table, but he's got to be careful here. There's a lot of traffic.
A lot of traffic in his way here. He is electing to go to 3 rails. It's a big stroke.
And Tony's got his hands full here. This is starting to turn out to a difficult layout.
And nobody really wants to deal with that 5-ball.
Yeah, really. That 5-ball's been haunting so far, even in the first match with Dennis Hatch and Manny Chow.
The orange skittle gets in everybody's way.
Yeah. And Tony, very smart play. Trying to give himself another opportunity to get back to the table. Leaves Mike behind the 9-ball from my vantage point.
He actually is going to be a little disappointed with that shot. His intention was to actually try and have the 4 break up the 5-10 and play a safety at the same time. So it's actually a very, very smart shot, but he did not accomplish that. The 5 and 10 is still tied up.
Well, you know, I don't know if the 5-10 is on by any means. I can't really tell from here, but if it is, we might possibly see a fast game here with this one. I can't tell.
I think Mike is breaking out his jump cue. So many players. I'm looking out at the at the crowd right now in the tournament arena. There's just so many amazing players. I'm looking at Mike Davis playing Joey Koziak right now. Oscar Bonilla is playing Mike DeShane. Stevie Moore, I believe, just lost to Josh Brothers in a score of 7-2 or 3. It's hard to tell from here. I mean, just you got high-quality players all over the place.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've seen Joe Koziak. I missed him at the last tournament. He's in that great match with Mike Davis.
Mm-hmm.
All right, back at the table, Mike Fingers looks like he went to the jump cue.
Mm-hmm.
End call safe. And gets a fortunate roll to knock the cue ball back up table.
Now, he did call safe, you said?
Yes, he did call safe,
He did call safe, okay.
So even if he would have pocketed that ball, Tony would have still had the option.
No. Actually, if... yes, I see what you're saying. If Mike Fingers had pocketed that ball, the safety option would have been voided, and Tony would have had the option to make him shoot again if he didn't like the shot.
Right.
Very good.
Good ruling.
These are some of my favorite racks to watch when there's this complexity that you don't get very often. I mean, it's always nice to see the pros, running racks and racks, and you get to see beautiful patterns. But when there's a complexity at the table and they really have to kind of go into their knowledge base, I love to see what they're going to do with it. I mean, you really get a lesson that you don't expect, that you don't get to see very often when there's, something like this 5-10, if it's not wired to the corner pocket. I'm interested to see what Tony or Mike's going to do with that. How are they going to win this rack based on not necessarily their skill set, but more their knowledge of the game.
Right. And here's the shot here. Tony was looking at the position of the cue ball after he makes that fall ball. I don't know what he has in mind here. Maybe stick cue ball right there and play the 5-2 rails or 3 rails back up by the 6-9.
If he can stick that cue ball right behind that 10 and go 2 rails with the 5, beautiful.
Not only did he just kick it, I mean, he pushed the cue ball a little bit to lock it up a little tighter. What a smart move.
Just a tiny little bit of follow in there just to
what
lock it up.
What a great shot.
And now Mike's going to have to kick at this 5 ball. And I think he's in a really tricky place because he is locked up on that 10 ball. So he's actually going to have to come down table to go for the 5 up table.
Mike Fingers coming to the table with his hands full. Asking Tony Robles a ruling.
Mike Fingers is a good guy.
Yeah, he is.
You don't see Mike give too many, he does not an arguer or anything like that. He just comes to play pool. I respect players like that immensely.
And that's kind of what Dennis went through playing Manny. In the very first game, Dennis played a bank on the 5 ball. And Manny says, I didn't know you were playing the bank. Well, Dennis accepted, of course, and kept his composure.
Great,
and wound up winning
great.
that match 7-0.
Table 16, marked by Dow, Jesse Eagle. 16, marked by Dow, Jesse Eagle. 16.
Good attempt there. He missed it by about a couple of inches on the right-hand side of the 5 ball. So Tony's going to have ball in hand here. And I really don't see any trouble areas. That 10 ball, it might be tricky if the 9 ball were on the other side of the table. But really, there's just no real problems here. 10 ball's far enough away from the side pocket that he can just cut it down the corner.
For you guys out there watching the stream that are just coming up in the pool world and learning how to play pool, Tony Robles is mapping out the whole table in his head right now, playing 2 and 3 balls ahead of time, and the position that he wants on them. So keep that in mind. It's good to practice playing 2 balls ahead of yourself.
One of the things that Tony, when he was trying to take through the cue ball position and thinking of the pattern, he would often say, leave yourself an angle for shots, because as an amateur coming up, I was thinking straight in was the best way to go. Absolutely wrong.
Myself also. Absolutely. That's a mistake we make.
Yeah. It's illogical, but you actually do want to leave yourself an angle so that you can manipulate the cue ball much easier. Straight in is just really tough.
Absolutely.
So you'll see Tony's leaving himself an angle quite often. He came up a little short on that 7 ball to get to the 8. He was a little bit straighter than he wanted to be, and that's why he's got a funnier position on this 9 ball than he would have liked.
Table 15, Stevie Ball, forward ballot 15. Stevie Ball,
Tony Robles
forward
on the
ballot
verge of
15.
taking this match to a 2-0 lead over Mike Fingers. And he does. Tony Robles, folks, we are coming to you live from the Raxx Pool Room in West Hempstead, Long Island. This is Upstate Al on the mic alongside the one and only Gail Glazebrook.
G squared for something.
I'm sorry, Gail, what was that?
A lot of people call me G squared too because of the blog.
Okay. Oh, G Square for your blog. Okay, good to know. There you have it. Tony Robles now leading this match 2-0. This is the Seminole Pro 10 Ball Empire State Championships at Raxx Pool Room and Bar and Grill. This is a race to 7. Tony now leads 2-0.
They are playing Rack Your Own, winner break. Call shot, call safety. And Master Guns is asking if there are any brackets. I do believe I saw the Seminole Pro Tour working on brackets, so I believe they're going to have those up for us shortly. And they did a player vote at the beginning of this tournament whether or not to allow breaking from anywhere or just in the box. And the players actually voted to have breaking only from the box. So that's why you're seeing Tony not go to the rail.
Okay, Tony Robles breaking the pack and making the 2-ball into that corner pocket. We do have a little better vantage point in the booth at this tournament here, and it looks like Tony does have a good shot on the 1-ball. Just going to bounce off the rail, come back out for the 3, straight up in the corner, and just put a little draw on it just to draw it back.
He actually killed that cue ball. You see how hard he hit that ball, and it just died. And he put reverse English to kill that cue ball. I always love watching Tony draw the ball. It's a beautifully smooth stroke.
Yeah, you know, for those of you out there and a lot of people sitting here around the rail, Tony Robles is a New York City favorite. He's a gentleman player, very quiet at the table, and really enjoyable to watch when Tony is on. And there's not many times Tony is off.
I get to see him when he's on and off. And he struggles like any other pool player, but he's got this wonderful composure about himself. You don't see him get angry too often.
No, absolutely not. And if he does, it's usually angry at himself for playing the wrong position or not pocketing the ball, not against another player.
Definitely. Tony elected to take the more difficult shot on the 6 ball. Make sure he gets position on the 7. He's going to thin this ball. He'll probably come back to the rail that he's leaning on right now. Nicely executed. I've got George Dinky Sansusi behind me, waiting for his match to get started.
Tony got straight just about where he wanted to be. Just stopping there. And you got to create a little bit of an angle so you can get back close table for the 9 ball. Tony is in the lead here, 2-0 over Mike Fingers. Oh, Tony jammed the pocket. Now, if this turned out where the 8 ball was safe behind the 10, the incoming players such as Mike Fingers would have the option of giving that shot back to Tony, but Mike Fingers does have a shot on the 8. That is the rule. Yes, Gangster is standing right behind us there, Marty. Marty Herman in the room, my friend, pro pool player. Also known as PPP.
Mike did a nice job getting on that 9-ball.
Absolutely. Mike has to come and show up in this tournament here.
Good shot, and Tony let that one get away from him. And Mike's going to take advantage. And so Mike is going to get on the board. And the score is Tony Robles 2, Mike Fingers 1. And we're going to see Mike break for the first time. Mike's got a good break. I don't get to see him break 10-ball too often. Like I said, he took a break from this year of the Predator Tour because of a shoulder injury. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Mike does with this 10-ball break. The matches that I do know about, Josh Brothers defeated recently crowned New York City champion Stevie Moore. 7-2
Oh, yes, at
3.
that New York City championship, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We knew that was going to be an interesting match. Josh took third in that event. Stevie took first. So, congratulations to Josh. And now Stevie will battle it out on the one-loss side. That made the one-loss side that much more dangerous. I think I did see Mike DeShane defeat Oscar Bonilla. And you're now watching Mike Fingers versus Tony Robles and Mike Fingers watch break.
Yes, and Dennis Hatch is the reigning champion from 2009. And I believe Mark Vidal, also known as Spain in the New York City area, is his nickname, was the champion in 2008.
That is correct. Now, Mike hit that one ball dead on. And unfortunately for him, he drew the ball all the way back into the corner pocket. So now Tony's going to have ball in hand on this rack. 2-ball, from my vantage point, looks like it clears the corner pocket by the 10. So I think Tony's going to draw back probably straight down for the 2-ball. And I've got a new partner in the booth with me. Mr. Ray Hansen has rejoined us.
Hey, Gail, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Well, it's like Tony Robles here is rolling forward here. Mike Fingers, though, right on his heels.
Yep. Tony started off with a 2-0 lead, and then he missed an 8-ball. He actually just whacked it. And Mike Fingers took advantage of that mistake. So now Tony's got a friendly bump there from the 8-ball.
Wow, absolutely. Could have easily ended up behind this 8-ball.
Nice controlled shot there. Tony's going to shoot this. Looks like he's going for the side pocket. There we go.
Wow.
You know, when he got down on that shot, he didn't look as comfortable as he normally does. I think he was disappointed with the position on that. He had to force it over for the 6-ball.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, and I know I actually learned this from Tony, but, on a shot like that, if he's a little uncomfortable with it, stand up, step back, and then, regroup, and then step forward on your shot when you're ready to hit it. And sometimes, when we get in the heat of the battle, it's hard to remember some of these things, or we fall back into some bad habits. And
absolutely.
And it happens to all of us, not just
pro or amateur. It doesn't matter.
Not just big truck here.
Well, and Tony is a faster player,
right?
So taking that moment to step back is not something that they're very used to.
Yeah, I agree.
So with that miss, Mike does not have a clear shot on this 5-ball. And he would here, just so everybody knows the rules, he would have the option to give this shot back to Tony if he liked, given he's got a clean shot at the an open 5-ball. He's going to probably like to play a safety here.
In case some of you out on the internet aren't aware, Gail Glazebrook here joining me in the booth is the current BCA Open champion.
Thank you.
And this was just recent as well. It's an awesome match. Played my good friend Tara. I keep wanting to say McCracken, but it's Williams now. Tara Williams over in Vegas.
It was a really interesting. I had a wonderful time playing her. Great player. I could not say enough nice things about Tara. She's just a real class act on the table.
Now, double D on table 5.
Well, Mike's got himself in a jam here up behind this 8-ball.
So I actually think Mike called the 5-ball on that shot. And given he called the 5-ball and missed it, Tony elected to have Mike shoot again. Mike did a great job with that shot.
Yeah, how'd that come out? Wow.
Tony does not want that 5-ball.
Wow.
Now, if Tony had made that 5-ball, Mike would have the option to either give it back to him or shoot the shot anyway.
Yeah, Mike would have loved for that 5-ball to drop in.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause he would have been taking that 6-ball shot.
Absolutely.
It's a tough shot, though, shooting off the rail like this. But the jump shot, I think, here is a good choice.
I struggle with jump shots so much, and I find that it's a severe height advantage when you're jumping.
Right.
And I'm not the tallest person in the world. So anytime I get to jump from the rail, I'm thrilled because I've got about an inch and a half to my advantage.
Well, listen, Gail, stop now, because I can tell you, I can name you dozens of guys that are 5 foot tall that jump like King Kong.
I got to take lessons from them, I guess.
Well, Tony draws ball in hand, and we'll be able to get right back on the track here.
And this shot that Tony's going to take here is something I don't see a lot of players do. Tony, when he's got a ball in the pocket like this, he likes to put the cue ball nearly on top of the ball.
I see that.
It's his way of actually avoiding any kind of complications before the cue ball travels to the ball. So it's a really good technique that I've started using, and I've found that it just helps my tangent line accuracy that much more.
Exactly. I see that. I know many times players that have a ball deep in the jaws like that end up catching a point or something with the cue ball on the way out.
Exactly.
You know, a lot can happen. Well, Tony's looking good here to take a 3-1 lead over Mike Fingers.
Oscar Bonilla, Frankie Hernandez, table 4. Oscar Bonilla and Frankie Hernandez, table 4. Mike Miller, 29.
And Tony does successfully run out that rack, and he will take a 3-1 lead. I just heard them call Oscar Bonilla and Frankie Hernandez over the speaker.
That'll be a good match.
Yeah, it will be a good match.
So many good matches here.
Do you have a favorite in this tournament?
You know, I do not.
No?
No.
It's so hard to choose. I mean, Stevie Moore coming off that win and him losing in the first round really shows you the talent that is involved in this tournament right now. Stevie Moore just winning the New York City Championships this past weekend.
Absolutely. Stevie Moore is a good possibility here. Dennis Hatch, of course, a returning champion for this event. Tony here. There's so many. It's just the list is very long. Mike Davis, great player.
Spain, another returning champion of this event. And even Josh Brothers. Let me tell you something. That guy is shooting lights out.
He is.
I actually, really nice guy, Josh Brothers. Really good person to just, kind of chat with, and he's very down to earth. He has that pool player complex of, I can't put all the time I want to put into this game because there's just not enough money, so he puts in as much time as he can, and for him to be the talented player that he is, limiting himself to the full-time job and, you know, whatever time he can put on the table is really a testament to how naturally good he is. So Mike's looking at a pretty thin cut on this one ball, and he's elected to play safety here.
Yeah, the 2 ball's right next to it, so it's a good choice.
Can you see if he's got a clear shot of that one ball?
He can see the one here clearly. Let's switch cameras here. He can see the one, just the edge of it. Even actually more than half of it is sticking out from the 9 ball. He's got to watch the cue ball here. He's going to try to draw this out from the 10 ball, come back around 2 or 3 rails. Oh,
ooh,
man.
I don't like that shot.
Yeah, that 10 ball played into that right there. Him trying to avoid it, and he pulled it a little too much.
I'm surprised he went for that shot. He kind of really rushed into that decision. I'm surprised that he didn't take more time trying to figure out what exactly he wanted to do here.
You know, a lot of times, just looking straight on at the table, you'll have 2 or 3 feet on that rail to hit, but when you look at it with the angle, you realize you really might only have at that angle maybe 4, 5, 6 inches.
Big difference there.
Yes, I agree, Gail. I think players should always walk down there and look at that, that from the angle.
Absolutely. I can't tell you how many times just walking around the table, the new perspective changes your whole pattern completely.
Exactly. That's one thing we're going to be seeing a lot of in this tournament is a lot of players really walking the table and getting all the different perspectives. A lot of top players in this field.
Well, and with 8,000 added, I would hope that they would spend as much time as they need.
Exactly. This 3 ball's in a really odd spot here, tucked in behind the 8 ball.
Okay. He came a little bit more of an angle than he wanted, and that's why he ran into the 9 ball instead of actually trying to run into the 3-8.
Mike was looking to see if the 8 would throw into the corner.
For those in the chat room that are interested in some of the players that are playing in this event, there are a number of top players that we've got out here. You're watching Tony Robles and Mike Fingers on the stream. Oh, we've got Corey Deuel, Mike DeShane, Manny Chow, Dennis Hatch, Hunter Lombardo. We have Josh Brothers, Mark Spain-Vidal, a previous winner of this event. Mike Siegel is in the house. Kevin Guimond, Earl Herring, Sean Wilkie, Zions V, George Sansusi, the Gangster, Met Vergara, Frankie Hernandez, Jeremy Sosi, and many, many others. You're going to get to see all sorts of great players playing on the stream thanks to the Big Truck Show coming out and supporting the tour.
And the Seminole Pro Tour.
Absolutely.
For bringing it here and making this possible. Yeah, thanks for that rundown, Gail. It's awesome. It's a stout field. TER from the internet chat room is asking about Aston DeFoof. Don't know Aston.
I don't recall seeing that name on the player roster. We did have a handful of, B and C players that chose to come out and just kind of give themselves a little tester, see how they would do with these big guns out here.
Nice shot by Mike there.
Nicely executed.
Did leave the cue ball a little far from the 6, and Tony's going to have a one-rail shot at this.
Mm-hmm.
He's going the long way. Two rails also.
Three.
Wow, nice.
And he's going to get a nice shot here. Unless that did squeak out, see past the 5 ball? Can't tell.
They may have. It's hard to tell from this angle.
came up a little short on that ball. He'd like to have just a little bit more so that he didn't have to put so much speed on the cue ball here. He should be okay. I don't see any reason why he can't just kind of kill this cue ball a little bit. Shoot the side pocket where he's standing with the 5. He elected to shoot left-handed there. And that's a tough shot even when you're not doing it the opposite arm that you're most comfortable with. So I think he hooked him on the 7 ball, but Tony can easily go rail first and cut this 4 ball in.
He may have to put a hair of swerve on this, but we can find out here in just a second. It's one of those shots that if you do have to swerve it a little bit, the cue ball comes out really hot.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, you're right. He's putting a little masse.
He caught it full, so it didn't come out hot.
I know Tony's little mannerisms. Whenever he puts his head in that little twisted a little bit, he's not happy.
Sean Sakai, table 20. Sean Sakai on 20.
Nope.
Well, I'd like to let everyone know we do generally like to keep our commentary unbiased here, but we'll give Gail a pass since she is the better half of the Tony and Gail team there.
I'm rooting for Mike. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, stop. Tony and Gail are both great people. You guys have an opportunity to visit with or meet Tony and Gail when you're up in this area. I definitely recommend looking them up.
Thank you.
Guaranteed a good time.
Guaranteed to eat good food.
Definitely. We'll be able to find all the Sicilian restaurants in the area.
I don't know what Tony's greatest love would be, food, me, or pool. So Mike's going to try and navigate this 6 ball, but he knows he's going to run into the 10 ball here. So he's got to make sure that he hits the 10 ball thin enough so that he can continue to come down for the 7. That's what he was worried about. He's got a decent enough shot on the 7 ball, no worries here. Then the 7 ball come 1 rail up for the 8 ball in the corner pocket.
Announcements are coming in loud and clear on this end.
Victor now, table 5. Victor now, double D on 5.
Mike's got to be disappointed in that. He had a really good opportunity to close the gap a little bit between him and Tony there. Tony will have a nice shot here. 9 ball? 10 ball? I don't see any worries for Tony here. Should take a 4-1 lead against Mike Fingers.
Yeah, he's in good shape. He would probably like to have a little bit more angle on this 9, but he's in good shape here. There we go. Tony Robles now leading 4-1 over Mike Fingers. And we'll be back in just 1 minute. Stay with us, folks.
The Seminole Tribe of Florida unconquered warriors with a formidable history. Building on its rich heritage of courageous and groundbreaking achievements, the Seminole Tribe of Florida now begins the next great chapter in the remarkable legacy of the Seminoles.
All right, and we are back. And if you're just tuning in, this is Ray Hansen, also known as Big Truck, and I am joined in the booth right now by Gail Glazebrook. Gail, this is kind of turned into a one-sided match here. Mike Fingers hadn't had much of an opportunity, and the few that he has had a few errors. Tony capitalizing, now leading 4-1.
And I know Mike Fingers is disappointed in himself right now, but he also has to be realistic. He's not been putting as much time at the table as he would like. He did just come off a shoulder injury this summer. And, he's just working out the kinks in his game. This game doesn't let you stay away for long and still stay on top.
A lot of times it's tough getting out of the chute. Your first match out, you're playing on the TV table. You got people over here talking about you and commentating. And it's a lot of pressure. I know Mike Fingers does have some game, and hopefully he can work through these issues and bring it out.
Mike Fingers has a lot of game. Shoots really, really well when he's putting in the time. Mike is a deadly person to play. It was a nice shot on the one ball. Unfortunately, he did not want to run into that 9 ball, so he's going to have a real tricky situation here with the 2. Probably going to see a safety here, if he can even see the 2 ball. I'm looking at over at the table next to Tony and Mike right now. I love the fact the pool doesn't discriminate on age. We have players on this particular tour that range anywhere from 13 and 14-year-olds.
No kidding.
To all the way up into the 90s.
Wow.
Yeah. And I just love it. I love seeing that. There's no age that you got to stop playing this game.
Mike Miller, table 29. Mike Miller, 29.
Mike's not going to like this. That 2 ball's going to take a nice... Oh, nope. Worked out very well for him now.
Yeah, he did. He came out good. Can't tell if Tony can see the edges or not.
Tony's fortunate that 5 ball did not drop. T-Stir is asking if Billy Dunsmore is in the house. I believe I did see Billy's name on the roster. Mike got a little double kiss action.
That came out nice.
Mm-hmm. And on the table, a little bit down the line, I'm looking at the Battle of the Mikes. Mike the Mouth, Captain Hook Siegel versus Michael Wong. Got Rob Oman and Sean Linen playing as well.
Dale, looks like Tony can see this straight on.
I think he's massing around the 9-ball just slightly. Nice shot. He wants this ball to keep rolling. He needs it to go about
Didn't get
one
there.
more foot.
He may have a cross bank into the 5 here, but he is going to have to call this. He will probably opt for a safety here.
Wow. And Mike has a really good opportunity here to run this rack out. And now he's got to do it now. He cannot afford to give this match, this rack away to Tony. Uh-oh. Wow.
Tough, man, tough.
Wow. Tony's right now trying to figure out if that 4-ball is going to clear the 9. And he's very fortunate that Mike is not on his game, because Tony's made a couple of errors here that would cost him if Mike were on his game or if we were playing some of the other players in this event.
Well, Tony just turned back to Mike Fingers and called the 4-ball in the corner. Nice shot.
Very nice shot.
I'll tell you, from sitting here, it didn't look like it would pass, or if it did, barely.
He sure hit it like he believed it passed no problem. Tony Robles. Yikes. See, as girlfriend supporter right now, this is the part where I look at Tony, give him the little cutting the throat symbol, meaning go take a break. That's very uncharacteristic Tony right now. He needs to step away from the table and kind of regroup.
Well, he made a nice shot here, getting Mike behind the 10-ball.
That'll put Mike on 2. Not that I think that's really relevant to Tony. I'll look to run out here. No females in this event.
No kidding.
We didn't have one female play in the event.
Wow. What's wrong with y'all?
We're all getting a tan outside. It's beautiful. What hurricane?
It is an awesome day out. Now Tony Robles poised to go 5-1 over Mike Fingers here. Just like that. We're going to take a quick break, folks. We'll be right back with more action. Stay with us. And we're back. Tony Robles breaking rack number 7, beating 5-1 over Mike Fingers. This is your host, Ray Hansen, also known as Big Truck, and I'm joined in the booth right now by Gail Glazebrook.
Hi, everybody.
Also known as G
Squared.
G Squared.
Double G. Tony's girl.
Weren't you also, didn't you have a handle GC11 or something? Or no?
GG.
GG.
11.
GG 11.
On AZ.
Okay, gotcha.
Calling me out there, Ray.
I can't see very well, so it looked like GC to me. I'm thinking Gold Crown, you know. But GG makes sense, though.
So everybody knows the format for this tournament. This is a 10-ball tournament. Call shot, call safe. The entry fee was $150 for everybody. Last year we had a scattered entry fee, and we got a total of 109 players last year. Seminole Drive decided to have it be a $150 for everybody event, and we got a full field of 64. So I was really happy that we got a full field. We had to turn away about 7 players. They arrived after 12 o'clock noon, which was the cutoff for registration. So I'm really happy with the turnout for this event. It's top players all over the Northeast, and a number that flew in from Florida to play in this event. So really excited.
Speaking of top players, Gail, how's this for top players? The next match up on the TV table here will be a loser's side match, and it's going to be Oscar Bonilla and Frankie Hernandez.
Battle of the Northeast there. Unbelievably great players. Oscar and Frankie, they've battled each other many times before at all of the local tournaments around the area. It's going to be a great match for you guys to watch. Format is race to 7 for today's matches. The money matches for tomorrow will be extended to races to 8.
Table 21, Mark Carroll, Robert Schlott, 21. Mark Carroll, Robert Schlott, 21. Matt McGarrett, table 7.
I just don't think that Mike really has his, head in this match. I don't know if it's the first match, trying to get those first match jitters out. I know he played in last weekend's New York City Championship, and he was a little frustrated with his game. He's coming back from a shoulder injury, so I think he's just a little frustrated with himself at this point. Wow. Tony did not want to run into that 7-ball before that 5-ball shot, so he got much thinner cut on the 5-ball than he intended. Mike's going to have a really good chance here. I really want to see Mike take advantage of this rack. I don't know about you, but I think at this point you just got a free stroke. Kind of let your natural talent out here. You're down in the match 5-1, race to 7. I think you just got to let it go.
Just play. It's easy to say from over here.
Oh, I'm great at saying it. Actually doing it's a totally different story.
This is a race to 7 until we get to the final rounds. The final 16 will be race to 8, and the finals, 1 race to 9. This will be wrapping up tomorrow evening.
Mm-hmm.
This is winner break format also. They are racking their own. 3-foul rule is in effect. They can use their short cues only twice during a match.
Really?
No limit to the number of jumps, though.
Oh, okay, I see. Maybe you can explain the difference between, what do you mean a short cue?
Jump cue.
Limit?
2.
Oh, so they can only pull out the actual jump cue twice.
Correct.
But they can use their playing cue to jump the ball as many times as they want.
Absolutely. So a lot of times what a player will do is if he can make the jump shot, or if it's not that close, if he can make it with his full cue, he will use his full cue and not use up one of the short cue jumps. So it just adds a little strategy there for the players to have to really make the consideration.
Is that a Seminole Pro Tour standard rule?
Yes.
Oh, that's different. We're here at the Raxx Pool Room Bar and Grill in West Hempstead, New York. Raxx is a wonderful room. It's got beautiful 31-table AMF tables out here. Great setup. I'm looking at tons of spectators right now enjoying the matches. They also have a full bar, great food, and good parking.
Holden Chen, awesome host. Really appreciate him putting this event on.
I'm actually looking at Rob Oman, who's one of the homeroom players out.
Who was it?
Rob Oman. He's playing, he's the man on the top of your screen there playing on the table ahead of you. Great player. He does our websites for us on the Predator Tour. And he's the one that actually produced that beautiful chart that we're using for this tournament.
Here we go, rack number 8, Mike Fingers staying alive.
Can't be happy with that. That's the second time. He's only broken twice in this match, and he scratched on both breaks. First time was in the bottom right-hand corner pocket. Drew it straight back, and now he came off the one ball. Threw it into the side. T-Stir is actually asking about Mike Fingers. Mike Fingers, that is not his real name. There's a story behind that, and I'm sure Mike will get in the booth here at some point and commentate. Maybe he'll tell you that story. But actually, Mike's last name is... Oh, I'm going to mess this up.
It's really hard to say, and that's why he goes by Fingers.
It's like that. Maybe somebody in our chat can spell it.
Leave it alone, Gail. Just leave it alone.
See, there it is.
Badsteubner. Bad, that's it.
Fingers. Let's just stick with Fingers.
All right, Mike gives it back. Tony doing a swerve shot. No bueno. Mike has got to capitalize on these errors.
Definitely. Some of the other matches that I see going out in the room right now, I've got Zion Zvi versus Sean Wilkie. Again, Mike Siegel playing Michael Wong. John Alisea is in the house. Stevie Moore, Mike Davis, Spain, Mike DeShane, Alaska. On the TV table, after this match is completed, we will have Frankie Hernandez versus Oscar Bonilla. That'll be a loser's side match. Mike's going to have to get really good on this 5 ball if he's going to have a shot for the 6 down in your corner here. Bottom right-hand corner.
Well, Mike's still having a tough time here with the speed, adjusting here, and ends up on the rail over here.
Tried to stun that over for position on the 6 ball, and unfortunately ran dead into the 6. Gonna have to play a safety here. And Mike's going to be disappointed with that safety. He left stick Tony. Actually, I think he might have even left him a shot at the 6 ball.
Doesn't look like it from here.
And he's eyeballing it enough that he's thinking twice about what to shoot at. And Tony has decided to play a safety here. Now, I don't know Mike's game banking well. I don't know how good a banker he is, what kind of safety he would play here. He might just elect to shoot the 6 ball and leave the 6 ball down at your bottom right hand, bottom rail here. Play the cue ball back up where the 9 ball is.
Calls a side pocket.
With the 10-ball rules that were implemented for this tournament, under a normal situation, Mike would have the option to play a 2-way bank here. But with these rules, call shot, call safety, you do not have that option. You do have to call the pocket. And if you inadvertently miss the ball and leave your opponent hooked, they do have the option to give you back the shot. He's not happy with the way that the cue ball is reacting off the rail. I don't know if his English is just not reacting the way that he's expecting it to. Do you find with the live stream matches, the TV tables, the heat from the lights just change the entire way the table plays? Because I know at Comet Billiards, players used to come off the AccuStats table and say that the table was just in general reacting way different than the other tables in the room.
Right. That is the case with a lot of the lighting setups that people use with these fluorescents that we use. There's no heat coming off of them at all, and you can actually reach up and just grab the bulb and pop them out with your hand. So there's no change there. Probably the biggest difference you're just going to notice is there's a little more pressure laying on the TV table. And knowing that you've got folks commentating on everything you're doing to the folks on the internet. But a lot of lighting systems do put off a lot of heat.
Oh, I remember the AccuStats Arena at Comet Billiards. I mean, it was a sauna in there compared to the rest of the room.
Yeah, very well lit, though.
Extremely. I miss that arena. Pat Fleming does a beautiful job with his AccuStats Arena. They've actually moved that to a different pool room in the area.
Yes, over in Clifton. I got to go out there with Upstate Al and Devil Dave on Thursday night and play over there. And it was a lot of fun. Pat's always an awesome host. Of course, I was just donating, myself. No, that's a lot of fun. It's really just for fun. And take a shot at the break and run that they had going on out there. Ooh, brutal.
I feel for Mike. He just never really didn't seem like he just felt comfortable with our match so far.
Well, with this 10-ball, Tony Robles will be getting on the hill first, 6-2 over Mike Fingers. And one rack away for Tony. Mike Fingers still alive.
Come on, Mike. Let's get some action around here.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back, folks. Tony Robles leading 6-2 now over Mike Fingers.
We're here at Raxx Pool Room Bar and Grill in West Hempstead, New York for the Empire State Championships. This is a Predator Tour event as well as a Seminole Pro Tour event. Both tours will award points to every player that's playing in this event.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Well, Mike's got a nice layout here. All he's got to do is bring this. Really, there's really nothing troubled up here. 4, 5, 6 looks like a road map. Getting on the right side of the 9-ball, maybe. That's about it.
See, I didn't. He got away with it, but I don't think he even needed to take that kind of a risk.
Yeah, I don't understand why he went that way. Seemed like coming around 2 rails was on.
Mike Fingers, a regular player on many of the regional tours up in this area, Predator Tour, Blaze Mez Tour, and the Joss Northeast 9-Ball Tour. Nice shot there by Mike. He got really straight on this 7-ball. Oh, he jammed that. That's just not Fingers' day. Tony's going to have a real nice shot here. Run out these balls and put an end to this match. And I don't like that at all.
Yeah, he got kind of jammed up here and right up on top of the 8-ball.
Not an easy shot already, and he's got to jack up over the 9-ball. Nice recovery.
And he got a nice angle to fall on the 10, 2 balls away from the match.
Tony will often tell you what he wants to do. He points with his cue, his finger, where he's going to have the cue ball go. Friendly bump. I think we're going to close out this match.
Tony Robles, 7-2 over Mike Fingers. Thank everybody for joining us for that match. This is Ray Hansen, also known as Big Truck, with Gail Glazebrook. And we'll be back shortly with another match, so stay with us. It'll be a one-loss side match, Oscar Bonilla and Frankie Hernandez.
Bye, everybody.
The Seminole Tribe of Florida, unconquered warriors with a formidable history. Building on its rich heritage of courageous and groundbreaking achievements, the Seminole Tribe of Florida now begins the next great chapter in the remarkable legacy of the Seminoles.